Hey, good people, this is your NI Dom back with another YouTube reflection. And this is a personal journal for contemplative people looking to think, grow, and have impact in the world. So, hey, intelligence and confidence within context. Intelligence and confidence within context. Just listened to some YouTube content from a new YouTuber. I think he's really new within the last few months. He's an INTJ. I think he goes by the name of John. You will start hearing me refer to him as INTJ John so as to not confuse him to the other person I love, INTJ, the INTJ academic. So far, I've consumed about 4 of this guy's pieces of content, and I am in agreement with most of it. I just had one where there was a disagreement around INTJs not being masterminds. That was his argument, and I did a YouTube response countering that. Like, yes, we are. You just missed the point. Let me explain it to you. But other than that, I'm really digging his content. I'm very inspired by it because there's an affect. There's an affect on him that's different from some of the other INTJ YouTubers, and that affect has got my attention. I have some theories about that, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. But anyway, I really I like what he's doing. I like him. All right. So I've listened to this content that he did on 2 traits of an INTJ, something like that. Something in effect. I don't have the exact quote. 2 traits of an INTJ. And those traits are intelligence and confidence. I listened to this about a week ago. And I just listened to it again this morning because the content is helping me to process some conflict I'm having on the job. If you go to my primary podcast, you know that I have entered into a new job. I've entered into a new job for the last 4 years. And there's something to be said about that. I've talked about that on the podcast as well. But anyway, I'm dealing with something on the new job, and I think has a lot to do with intelligence and confidence. And just listening to him talk about those 2 traits, I find to be quite soothing for me. Um, it's putting it within perspective, and that is helping me. Um, but there are some things about intelligence and confidence that um, get a little complicated and a little more nuanced than what he put in his video. And so, what I'm here to do is to raise attention to that nuance and that complication. I'm going to send it to him. I'm not sure if he'll ever get this reflection, and I don't know if he'll respond. When people get big, they just don't have the time. Um, but I'm going to record it all the same as though I'm going to send this to him. And then I'm going to release it to the public. And if there's somebody out there who can benefit from this questioning, this processing that I'm going to go through, then hey, that's win-win, okay? Or there's a win in there. I don't know if it's win-win, but there's a win. Anyway, nonetheless. Um, if you're new to this project, this is a personal journal where I process my inner and my outer worlds. I do so by using personality theory. The 2 that I use the most are the Myers-Briggs and the Enneagram. Pushing those 2 systems together, I identify as an INTJ 8. This project this YouTube channel is connected to a podcast number 2. I have 2 podcasts. One is connected to my work or my business, and the other one is just personal. It's a personal journal where I'm really processing my experience, my existential self, if you will. And I like to use YouTube as a short form version, but most my podcast reflections, as a reflection should be, are longer. They're longer form. YouTube is short form. So if you're new to me and you kind of want to know what's going on, that's kind of the full layout of who I am and what I'm doing here. I'm here to respond to some YouTube content, but my primary way of moving about in my reflection is longer form. And so I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a longer form reflection on this. But until I get there, here's a short form response. And I think I have some questions that I would love for this guy to respond to if he has the time. So yes, I do believe INTJs have these two traits, intelligence and confidence. And I really like how he has isolated those two words. Like, I've been into Myers-Briggs for about 20 years, if not longer. And yes, he didn't tell me anything I didn't know. Yes, I know that we're intelligent. And yes, I know we're confident. But I don't think I've ever heard it framed in those two words. Like, just give me those two words, and that's all. There's so much I can do with these two words about being intelligent and confident. So I just like that frame with those two words. Okay. I'd also agree with him that intelligence is a PowerPoint for us. He didn't use PowerPoint. He didn't say that. He said people will know that we're intelligent. And if I'm not mistaken, he said that will draw them to us. That will be an attractive quality. That's power. The ability to pull something to you. That pulling to you is a force, some type of force. And anyway, so that's power. And he also said the confidence is comforting. Because if you're confident, you got it. That means I can be safe with you. And yes, here's where I am challenged with this simplified treatment of intelligence and confidence. And I'm not trying to be critical, just to be critical. I'm being critical because I need some more, because I like the framing, but I need some more, and I need it within context. I have listened to some other content in the world about being an INTJ woman. Being an INTJ woman does not afford us with the same PowerPoints as associated with those two traits, being intelligent and confident, especially not together. Because what the world wants from women is something very different from our intelligence. It's particularly around analysis. So I meant to tell you that the way he talked about intelligence is the ability to understand quickly, the ability to take in large amounts of information, and break it down and do something and create something novel with it, do something new with it. I also like to use Bloom's taxonomy, where I can take that information, I can synthesize it, I can analyze it, I can create, I can evaluate, I can apply, I can transfer, right? Those are all higher functioning skills that I can do with a lot of information. Now, to take in a lot of information just for the sake of knowing, I'm not good at that. I don't have that type of intelligence. But I will take in a lot of information and I will do something with it. That's my superpower. Okay. But the world doesn't want us analyzing, breaking apart. Maybe they want us to create, but really what the world wants from women is for us to nurture, for us to make sure everybody's okay. You're not making sure people are okay. You're not nurturing them when you're doing analysis and you're breaking apart. And when you can see problems other people can't see, and you have the confidence to expose those problems. You have to expose them if you're going to come up with a solution. You're not just walking around exposing problems. You're coming up with solutions. The world is not too friendly when women do that. Now, are there exceptions? Yes. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being absolute. Yes, women, we do it. INTJ women, we do it because that's who we are. But it doesn't happen with ease. And I don't think it is an endearing quality. I don't think it's as much of an endearing quality as the way this YouTuber maybe insinuates. I don't want to say he said it, but he said, hey, people will know you're intelligent. They will recognize it. and they will feel comfortable in your confidence. They may feel it, they may not, but what I'm saying is there is such a distaste for women who are not, when women don't choose to nurture, when women don't choose to put other people before themselves, we are problematized. And when you're problematized, the world is not going to, they're not going to recognize your intelligence, and they're definitely not going to say they feel comfortable with you. They're not going to see your confidence as confidence. And so in the video, he talks about the difference between being confident and arrogant. Like you can come off as too confident. That is true. And I think when you're a woman, there is a fine line about being confident. The line is not the same for a woman and her confidence as it is for a man. Most people would not disagree with what I'm saying. Most female INTJs would not disagree with what I'm saying. But let's take it up a level before I start closing. Let's factor in race. That's one of these topics in America, in the United States, we don't like to talk about. We don't want to talk about it. We know we're different, but we're the same, right? We don't want to talk about the political complications that are associated with race. So you take gender and you take in race. Historically, I'm going to talk about being Black. Historically, are Black people recognized as being intelligent? And historically, what happens when Black people are confident? It is considered a threat. I don't even want to open up the number of ways when confident Black people confront institutions that are threatened by that confidence. What happens to them? It is not safe. Which is why Black families typically will raise their kids to be aware of a game you have to play. You get pulled over by the police, don't come off as too confident. You drop your eyes, be submissive. In schools, it's a problem. When you go to the doctor, it's a problem. And I think this guy is going to do something about the military. I've never been in the military. I have family members who have been. So I'm going to be really interested in that. What I'm saying is, institutionally, that intelligence and confidence isn't well received when you're Black. Now, are there exceptions? Absolutely. But in general, it complicates matters. And then when you are from a lower socioeconomic background, as am I, when you're Black and you have access to money, you can navigate those bumps, that complication a little better than when you don't have the resources to navigate it. So I'm in a situation as a Black woman from a lower socioeconomic background, one who's not trying to deny that. There's some people who survive by trying to sanitize themselves of these identity markers that the world has problematized. I'm not trying to erase those parts of me. I actually lean into it. I magnify them. I make people confront. Yes, I'm Black, I'm a woman, and I'm from a lower socioeconomic background. When you're intelligent and you're confident and you're not trying to sanitize yourself in a work environment and you're in a leadership position with other leaders, it is complicated. And I would like for this guy to come back and just do a little bit more with being intelligent and confident within context. Because one of the things he said is that INTJs can take on different personas in different environments to meet different needs. So I think he gets it, but I just would like for him to expound upon that a little more. You guys, if this reflection has had any value for you, please give it a heart. If my moving about talking about confidence and intelligence as an INTJ within context to race, class, and gender resonates with a conversation you've had or relates to a conversation you've had in the world, please take this link and share it with those participants. If my moving about has caused some randomness in you, I would love to hear it. You can find me on my website at yourinidom.wordpress.com. And my YouTube, my podcast is Your NIDOM. You guys, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you. Until I come back, be well. Bye.